Okay, welcome to Get Noticed and Thrive. 5 ways authors use their books to build an expanding coaching business and get heard above the noise. So these are the 5 areas that we're going to focus on today for you to get noticed and thrive. This is a 1-year program, and the way it works is we basically evaluate what your needs are according to where you are right now. So if you need to build up a list, we'll work on building up a list. If you need to launch your book because you haven't launched it yet, but you need to do that. It's so important to have a launch, whether it's live or virtual. Either way, it's extremely important to have that launch to get you started on your journey of working with your ideal client, which, as you can see, is the first one, your ideal client. The second part of the program is creating a virtual you. Third part is speaking, broadcasts, radio, and more. The fourth is group coaching. And the fifth is public relations aspirations. And by no means are these in sequential order. This will happen depending on what your needs are, excuse me, and when you need to have them. So let's go ahead and move forward. First, we're going to talk about your ideal client and how they're going to be attracted. So just like they're being magnetized, your words, you're going to be familiar with their words. So your words, your ideas, and your symbols that you learned about them, that's what's going to attract them. So everything you do is going to be centered towards them. You can't attract somebody if you're not like them or think like them. It doesn't mean that you are them. It just means that those are what you consider your ideal client. You may have somebody right now that you're working with as a coaching client. For me, I have one. His name is Steve. I've been working with Steve for 5-6 years now, and we've worked together. We've made a book together. We've done a launch together for his book. He's putting his book as a main part of his attraction strategy. All of that, and the fact that he loves working with me and I love working with him. He pays me on time. He tells other people about me, and we respect each other very much. So I look at him as my ideal client. So you may have somebody right now that you're working with, and you don't even know that they're your ideal client because you haven't really looked at them that way. So we're going to get really clear to who your ideal client is. If you have worked with me with your book, you would have already been working towards writing your book to that ideal client. But regardless, if you have a book that you didn't work with me on it, that's okay. We get clear at this moment in time. So the first thing we work with is getting you very clear to who your target ideal client, who that is. Then we go into creating a virtual you, understanding that you can't do everything. Even oh my gosh, sometimes everybody comes to you and they're a expert in all the different social medias. They'll come to you and say, I'm an expert in Facebook ads, and another person will come to you and go, oh, I'm an expert in YouTube videos and becoming an expert on YouTube, or I'm a TikTok version person. Everybody is out to sell you something. It's my job to help you get clear to where is your ideal client going to be hanging out. So once we find out who they are, then we're going to find out what is it do they do when they're looking for information. And if they're getting information and they're looking for you, we're going to help you find them. So you're going to find each other. So it may be a lead generator that we're going to create as an online course, paid or free teaching tools, virtual universities. We'll create sales tools if that's what you need, virtual ads, sales communications, recorded summits, podcasts, YouTube. All of those things are out there. They're all tools for us to use. But we're not going to use all of them. We're going to use the ones that are going to be the most efficient. And the ones that work, we keep, and the ones that don't, we put off to the side till another time to maybe when they are better to use. But that's where we get to create a virtual you. So you're doing all this work and connecting and talking to your ideal client without you being there. So you could be sleeping in bed and getting a good night rest while your virtual you is on YouTube telling about your latest epiphany about your book and how it can help more people. Or you may be on vacation, and when you come back, you get all these orders of people wanting you to buy your book and your online course because they see the value of it. It's understanding who needs your help, and then where are they, and then creating a virtual you to be out there available to them when they need you. The third part is the speaking, podcasting, radio, and more. This is getting you out there to the right places so you're speaking to people that need your help. So, for instance, if you're great at speaking live is still a real thing out there. Speaking in front of organizations, clubs, groups, fee or free. So if you're good at it and you have opportunities, yes, by all means, you want to get paid. If you're working towards getting good at it, then that's okay. You can also work your way up. The good thing is, free speaking is still profitable. And we'll talk about that one-on-one, but it's so easy to make money, fee or free, nowadays when you speak live. Virtual speaking, like Facebook Live, Zoom, podcasts that broadcast to your ideal market, all of those are out there for you. There's thousands and thousands, probably millions of podcasts out there, but certain podcasts appeal to your particular group. So you could be on, one of the largest podcasts out there. It doesn't matter if your ideal person doesn't listen to it. It's all about you getting focused on who needs your expertise and where do they hang out, where do they listen, where do they watch. So we'll do the same thing. If you need to be on radio, there's virtual radio and real live radio. It's still out there. Summits, TV, panel discussions. And right now there's something called hybrid keynote, which is the newest thing in a lot of these hotels, the hospitality places that host all of these keynotes. They see a value of both being a live and virtual event space. So people can come in and they can speak in front of their ideal client and to a virtual, unlimited amount of virtual people out there. So that you're going to hear more about hybrid keynoting when you talk with me, because that's what's happening right now. Understanding nonverbal and verbal influences. Important to refine how you speak. If you speak already really well, if you're already got, you've got a lot of experience under your belt for speaking both virtually and live, we can always get you better. How do you use your hands? How do you use your nonverbals? How do you use your tonality? All that makes a difference depending on who your audience is and where are they from. I can tell you point blank that a group in Germany is going to want to hear a quite different message from you than the group that's in Australia. Two different types of tonality. They will be affected a certain way. And those are things that we work on while we're helping you. The next one is group coaching. Group coaching is a phenomenal way for you to leverage your time and revenue. And how do I mean that? Is that when you work with a group of people, even as small as 10 up to thousands of people, many times there's a common message. When I talk about writing a book, there's a lot of things that everybody has to do to write a book. The one is get clear to who your ideal client is. The second one is what is their pain or what is holding them back. And the third thing is what unique way do you have to solve that problem. So 3 things that you can do, and you can do that for thousands of people at a time. You don't need to do it for one person at a time. So it leverages your time. You can handle more people who want to know what you got up in here and in here. So when you refine your message through systemizing, now people can afford you. That maybe couldn't afford you one-on-one, now more people can. And that's one of the things that we'll work on with group coaching, if that applies to you. And then lastly is public relations aspirations. Understanding that PR is the use of what has always been PR, just getting your face out there, getting your name out there, getting you connected to your ideal brand, to who it is that needs your help. You're going to be, there was a time that I had a restaurant, and but I had half of my menu was cuisine masseur, healthier cooking style. So I was featured on some health magazines, and people would take their vacation around coming to my restaurant just because they said, how can this be five-star restaurant and be healthy too? And they found out that it's possible. And we added a whole new realm of business to already existing business with business people, who, by the way, even we made this menu originally for them because we thought that they wanted to have something healthier when they were traveling. And come to find out, when they came on the road, it says they were looking for things they couldn't eat at home, and their wife or their husband would always be on their case when they went out to dinner, whereas on the road they could splurge a little bit. But that's another story. Anyways, this is an opportunity for you to get your name out there in magazines, radio shows, TV talk shows. They're still good. They're still viable ways of getting you out there. How to write a public, a PR, a press release. You want to get your name out there, and we'll do whatever way that you need to be done. If you don't have a website, we'll show you the main things that you need for a website. If all you need is a landing page, then we do a landing page. We'll show you how to do it, or we'll show you who can help you on that. But it's all part of your plan. We're not going to do it all at once, but we're going to do it as you need it, and if you need it. That's the main thing. And then finally, you're going to create something that's called a profit pyramid. You need to have a visual cue to you to understand how your business will thrive, especially as a coach and an expert. You're going to have that first thing, which is your lead generation. What's going to get people to come to you, and what is that's going to get their interest? I usually use my book or part of my book as my lead generation. When I'm selling to people with team building, I have a team building book, and I'll send this to specific people in corporate HR or in marketing, and I have specific people I'll send this to get their attention. It's a great way to lead generate with a real product. You could do the same thing or not, depending on what your needs are and who your ideal client is. The second level is your first level product. When people see your book, they want to know, what can you do for me? I read your book, or I read your cover, and I know this book is going to be great. I want to know more what you can do. What is that second level product? Is it an online course? Is it a in-person talk? It could be a couple different things. And then after that, it's your second level product. Usually it's more expensive. Usually it gets a little bit more niche, and you're getting even more people into that, but it's from the level before. So your amount of people may shrink, but the price goes up because they want more of you, but they want specific for you. And then last is your top level product. And then your top level product is when you're helping somebody at a high level, and you may be charging them $25,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $75,000 a year, depending on what it is that you're doing for them, and how does that add to the value of what you give. Most of the time we start at the top level, and we build down. So what is it that you really want to do? And it says you want to help people really get their business rolling and work one-on-one with you. But that second level is really where the meat and potatoes is for most people. Well, what are you going to do to get them to the next level? And if you turn that whole pyramid around, it becomes a sales funnel. So more on that when we meet one-on-one. So here's the deal. If you like this, if you haven't met with me, then let's meet with me. Below is a form to fill out, and I'd love to hear from you. So fill out the form. We'll connect with you and see how we can, if you qualify to work with this program, because you have to have a book. That's step one. So if you don't have the book, we can help you make a book. But if you have a book, then I have to look at the book first and see if it's going to work within the confines of this program. It's all about getting you noticed, all about helping you find your ideal client and start doing business the way you should be doing business. You should not have to struggle. You should not have to be constantly running after people. There should be people coming to you, either through referrals or coming to you because they saw you on a video that basically said everything you wanted to hear that you do and how to help you get to where you're going very quickly. So thank you for the time. I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead and fill out that form below, and I look forward to seeing you in peace and love, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.